Everyone's talking about AI, but what are we actually doing with it? Let's forget the hype for a second. We're going to pull back the curtain and look at what's really going on. And trust me, some of this is going to surprise you.
Our guide for this whole thing is a look at over 100 trillion tokens of AI interactions. And tokens are basically just the words or pieces of words that AIs process. It is a mind-boggling amount of data, and it gives us the clearest picture we've ever had of what's happening behind the screens.
Okay, so here's the plan. We're going to start by busting the myth that AI is a total monopoly. Then we'll tackle another big one, the idea that AI is only for work. After that, we'll look at where this is all headed with something called AI agents, and we'll finish up by figuring out the real reason we get attached to one AI over another. Let's get into it.
All right, first up, let's take on this idea that the entire AI universe is run by just a few giant companies.
You hear this all the time, right? That the game is already over, that a handful of big names have it all locked down. But when you actually look at the data of what people are using, the story is completely different.
So, check this out. Yeah, the proprietary, closed-off models from the big guys still have the majority share, but look at this growing slice. Open source models now make up almost a third of all AI use. This isn't a monopoly, no way. It's a real ecosystem, and the open source community is a huge part of it.
So what's the actual difference? Well, proprietary models are like a black box. You can use them, but you can't see how they work. Open source, on the other hand, the blueprints are out there for everyone. The code is public, and that fuels this incredible competitive space where people all over the world are building and improving on this stuff together.
Okay, on to the next myth. This idea that AI is basically just a glorified productivity tool.
It's a pretty logical assumption. I mean, we think of AI, we think of it making us better at our jobs, and it absolutely does that. But that assumption misses a massive and frankly way more interesting part of the story. Okay, get ready, because this is maybe the wildest insight from all that data. The number one thing we use AI for isn't programming or writing emails. It's creative role play. You see that, right? The sheer volume of tokens for storytelling and role play is right up there with, and sometimes even bigger than all professional programming tasks combined. Wow.
And we're not talking about just, simple chit-chat here. This is a huge, well-defined category. People are co-creating these super complex stories, they're simulating characters, building entire interactive worlds with AI. The takeaway here is massive. AI isn't just a work tool, it's becoming one of our most powerful creative partners.
So, we've seen what we're using AI for, but how we're using it is also going through a pretty quiet revolution. This is the big shift. We're going from just talking to an AI to having it do things for us. It's this move towards what people are calling agentic inference, where the AI doesn't just give you an answer, it plans, it uses tools, and it gets a job done.
Just look at the difference. A simple query is one and done. You ask, it answers. But an agentic task, that's a whole workflow. You give the AI a goal, and it figures out a plan. It might use your calendar or search the web, and it keeps tweaking its approach until it's done. And the proof for this is all over the data. More than half of all usage now goes to models that are built specifically for reasoning. The AI is calling on other tools more and more. And maybe the biggest tell, the average length of our prompts has almost quadrupled. We're giving AI bigger, meatier problems to solve.
So, with a new AI model dropping what feels like every single week, what makes somebody actually stay loyal to one? Well, the answer isn't about having the most features. It's about a single perfect moment.
It's this amazing idea called the Cinderella glass slipper effect. So, imagine you've got this one nagging problem, something really important to you, and no AI has been able to crack it. Then, a new model comes along and it just fits. It solves it perfectly, like a glass slipper. That moment creates this incredibly strong, lasting loyalty.
These users, they become what's known as foundational cohorts. They're the ones who stick around long-term, because that one model was the very first to unlock something that was impossible for them before. They found their perfect match, and they're not looking back.
And here's why this matters so much. In this incredibly fast-moving world of AI, being the first to perfectly solve someone's critical problem gives you this sticky, durable advantage that is just really, really hard for anyone else to break.
So what did we learn today? The real world of AI is way more open, way more creative, and it's evolving in much more complex ways than you hear about in the headlines. It's not a monopoly, it's definitely not just for work, and loyalty is earned by solving real, specific problems first. Kind of makes you wonder, what other big assumptions are just waiting to be proven wrong?